She was young, vibrant, and newly married, full of dreams and plans for the future. But at just 29 years old, Brittany Maynard made one of the most controversial choices in modern history. She announced to the world that she would end her own life, legally. To some, she was a hero. To others, a mystery. A woman surrounded by questions of morality, faith, and human rights. Was it truly her choice? Or was she quietly pressured by the pain, by fear, or by something far deeper? Tonight, we explore the unnatural and mysterious death of Brittany Maynard, the woman who changed how the world views dying. Brittany Lauren Maynard was born on November 19, 1984, in Anaheim, California. Smart, adventurous, and deeply compassionate, she had a passion for teaching and helping others. She married her husband, Dan Diaz, in 2012, both filled with excitement for a long life together. But in early 2014, their perfect life changed forever. Brittany began suffering from debilitating headaches, ones so painful they sent her to the emergency room. After multiple tests, doctors delivered devastating news: terminal brain cancer. Specifically, glioblastoma multiforme, one of the most aggressive and deadly forms of brain tumors known to medicine. Doctors gave her just 6 months to live. She was 29 years old. Brittany refused to accept her fate quietly. She underwent surgeries and treatments, but the tumor kept growing. The headaches, seizures, and nausea became unbearable. When doctors told her that the end would be slow and painful, that she might lose her ability to speak, see, or move, Brittany began researching an option that very few in her situation had: death with dignity. At the time, only 5 U.S. states allowed medically assisted death, and California was not one of them. So Brittany made a life-altering decision. She and her husband left their home, family, and friends, moving to Oregon, where she could legally choose the time and manner of her death. It was a decision that would turn one woman's private pain into a worldwide debate. In October 2014, Brittany released a video on YouTube explaining her choice. It went viral, viewed by millions across the globe. In it, she spoke clearly, calmly, and bravely about her plan to end her life on November 1st, using medication prescribed by her doctor under Oregon's Death with Dignity law. Her message ignited a firestorm. Supporters praised her courage, calling her a voice for terminally ill patients who deserved control over their fate. But critics, including religious groups and medical ethicists, called it unnatural, claiming that she was promoting suicide under the guise of compassion. Even Pope Francis weighed in, calling assisted suicide a false sense of compassion. Yet Brittany remained calm, never responding with anger, only empathy. She said she wasn't choosing death, she was choosing peace over suffering. But as her final days approached, some began to question. Was she fully in control of her decision? Or was she influenced by pain, fear, or even by advocacy groups using her story to push legislation? November 1st, 2014, the day Brittany Maynard had chosen. She spent the morning with her family, laughing and sharing memories. At 9 a.m., she woke up and said she felt ready. By 11:30 a.m., she posted her final message online. "Goodbye to all my dear friends and family that I love. Today is the day I have chosen to pass with dignity." Later that afternoon, Brittany took a prescribed combination of barbiturates and slipped into a deep sleep. Minutes later, she was gone, peacefully, as she had planned. She was 29. But the conversation she started was far from over. After her death, people questioned whether she truly wanted to die, or whether she felt pressured by society's fear of disability and suffering. Her case reopened the moral debate about who controls life and death. Was her choice truly dignified, or was it a quiet surrender to fear and pain? Her husband maintained that Brittany was clear-minded until the end, determined to avoid agony. But others saw her death as a symbol of modern tragedy, a reflection of how medicine sometimes fails to provide comfort for the dying. Whether you agree or not, one thing is certain. Brittany Maynard's decision forced the world to look death directly in the eye and ask what it really means to live with dignity. After her passing, Brittany's story led to major change. In 2015, California passed the End-of-Life Option Act, inspired directly by her courage. Today, more states and countries have begun reconsidering their laws, giving terminally ill patients the same rights she fought for. Her name continues to be a symbol of empowerment, but also of heartbreak. Because behind the debate was a young woman who simply didn't want to suffer, and that is perhaps the most human truth of all. Brittany Maynard's story isn't just about death, it's about choice, courage, and compassion. Her journey reminds us that every life has value, and every ending deserves understanding. This is GossipGrid. Subscribe for more true stories of those whose lives and deaths remain unnatural, mysterious, and unforgettable.